Yes, students, we'll continue then. Okay, we are starting with preparation now, preparation of alkene. So I told you first preparation we are doing from alcohols. So alcohol is made to react with, this alcohol is made to react with concentrated acid. Okay, so usually we take sulfuric acid, concentrated sulfuric acid is taken with little bit of heating. Heating is done to produce alkene. Okay, now, see what is the function of concentrated sulfuric acid? Why concentrated sulfuric acid is taken? See, concentrated sulfuric acid is a dehydrating agent. It's a dehydrating agent. Dehydrating agent means what? D means what? D meaning is removing, correct? No? D meaning is removing. Now, hydra stands for water. Okay. So, they are very good in removing the water molecule. This concentrated sulfuric acids are there. No? So, they are very good dehydrating agent. So, if you have an organic compound which contains a carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, okay, so from there, if you make them to react with concentrated sulfuric acid, there will be elimination of water molecule taking place. Like see here, I have taken an example of sugar. Sugar is actually a compound, organic compound. It is a carbohydrate. Okay, sugar is a carbohydrate because you know finally sugar break down to give you carbon dioxide and water. No, so it's a carbohydrate. So when sugar is made to react with concentrated sulfuric acid, can you see the changes which is happening? So initially when you are taking sugar, okay, they react with concentrated sulfuric acid and then there is elimination of water molecule. When all the water molecule, you can see that actually when you take sugar and add concentrated sulfuric acid, you will see the vapors coming out. So those vapors which are coming out, actually they are nothing but water vapors. And remaining you can see here, only carbon will be left out. This black color compound which is there, no, that's only carbon which is left out. If you take now C6, H12 and O6. See here what they are made up of. Actually, they are 6 carbon and then water, no, H2O molecule. How many? 6 molecules. You see here. See, if you are going to heat them, this water molecule will go out. Remaining is what? 6 carbon. Even sucrose if you are taking. Sucrose is C12, H22O11. Okay. See, if I have to make a short and then write H2O, which is 11 time. Correct, no? So here if you are again taking sucrose and then making them to react with concentrated sulfuric acid, this water molecule will escape out. Remaining is what? Carbon. Okay, carbon is left out. So this is what happens. When you take an organic compound, make it to react with concentrated sulfuric acid. There is elimination of water molecule. Okay, finally left out is carbon and only here only carbon is remaining. Okay, but some compounds will be left with carbon and hydrogen. Okay. Now one more example, if it falls on the skin, see here, you can see a person pouring the water here because when concentrated acid falls on the skin, if you have noticed it, initially it causes redness. After some times you will see that the whole skin becomes black. Okay, because even our body is made up of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. There is 70% of water in our body and we are made up of carbon as well. Okay, because at the end ashes remain, no, if it's burned out. So here when the concentrated acid falls on the skin, initially it causes redness, but after some times you will see that the whole skin becomes black. That is because of the carbon which is left out and the water molecule which is there in our skin which is leaving out, okay, in the form of H2O. So this is what happens. Okay, so here same procedure we are using for alcohol also when you make it to react with concentrated sulfuric acid. So I'll take equation and explain you. Do not write. When I ask you to write, that time you can make a note. Okay, so I'm taking alcohol. Now for alkene, minimum 2 carbons are required, correct? No, so I'm taking ethanol. Okay, ethanol I'm taking. Ethanol I will write open structure so that it is easy for you to eliminate. Okay, so ethanol is CH3. This is how ethanol is: CH3, CH2 and then OH. Okay, one OH group attached. So we have hydrogen, hydrogen and then OH. Okay, when it is made to react with the concentrated H2SO4. Okay, you have to remove now water. Okay, Now, if I have to remove water, water is nothing but H plus and then OH minus ion. Okay. So, you are going to remove OH minus ion and H plus from this compound. Because O is more electronegative in nature. Correct, no? If O is more electronegative, when they are going out, they will go out along with the bond. So, this bond also will go out. Okay. Along with this bond, you are going to remove. I am removing along with this bond. Okay. OH minus when you make them to react with acid. So this bond goes out. Now see, carbon will be left with how many valency? 1, 2 and then 3. So like this carbon is deficient in nature. No, if OH minus goes out, this carbon will become deficient. So what happens is this bond which is there, no, this bond, any one you can take, this will be shifted over here to satisfy the carbon, and hydrogen is left out. Okay, hydrogen goes in the form of H plus. They will not take the bond and go. They will just go out in the form of H plus. Okay, so this elimination happens. OH minus goes out here. This happens in the presence of acid. Acid releases H plus ion. Okay, mechanism I'm not telling you, because next year you're going to learn the mechanism part. Now you just remember, you have to remove water in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. So OH you remove from one carbon. Don't remove again hydrogen from this only, because this carbon already it is losing OH minus ion. It's not possible for the same carbon to lose hydrogen. Okay, so hydrogen goes from the other side. Because they become deficient, then somebody else should satisfy them. So the neighboring carbon is coming for help here. Okay, this bond will be shifted from this side. So H will go out. Okay, so the compound which will be formed will be, now what is remaining here? One carbon, two hydrogen. So C H2 I am writing here. Okay, already one bond was there. This bond you are shifting. Then double the bond. Then C and then two hydrogen, because this anyways we are removing as OH minus. So CH2. Plus you write H2O which we are removing. Okay, so water will be formed on the other side. Did you follow now how it happens? Ethanol is getting converted to what? Ethene. Okay, now you can write it down. So write from alcohol by acid dehydration. Alcohol on heating with concentrated sulfuric acid gives alkene with elimination of one water molecule. Okay. Okay, again I will write the equation here. Once again I will write here. Okay, so that it becomes more clear. Ethene, I am taking ethene here. Ethanol, sorry. To prepare ethene, ethanol I am taking. CH3, then CH2, and then OH. I am writing open structure because it is easy for you to eliminate the water molecule. Okay, so this is ethanol, 2 carbon. When made to react with concentrated sulfuric acid, okay, with the concentrated H2SO4. With a little bit of heating, just so that the breaking of the bond becomes easier, okay. So now you have to remove water molecule in the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. Elimination of water molecule takes place, which is OH minus going out and H plus going out, because you know water is nothing but made up of H plus and OH minus ion. So I have to remove OH minus and H plus. Okay, so this OH minus ion and H plus goes out. This bond which is being left out, which hydrogen has not taken, that will shift in satisfying the carbon, because carbon becomes deficient here. See, plus charge will be formed. So that plus charge is satisfied. So you get CH2 remaining here, then double bond is generated, plus CH2 plus water molecule. Okay, so ethanol gives ethene. This is the example. Okay, see here, I will repeat this once again. Sulfuric acid is just acting as a dehydrating agent. It is not consumed in the reaction, okay? It is just helping to remove the water molecule from the ethanol. See now, this is ethanol. Okay, see, I have CH3, then CH2, and then OH. Okay. Now I told you, see here, concentrated sulfuric acid is a dehydrating agent. It's a dehydrating agent. Okay, which will remove water molecule. Now you know acid is a substance which releases H plus ion in the solution. Correct, no? When you take this concentrated sulfuric acid and with ethanol, there will be H plus ion which will be released. Okay, so that H plus ion, actually I will tell you on the whole what happens. Now this oxygen molecule, they have lone pair of electrons on them. That you have studied, all the oxygen molecule will have two lone pair of electron because they can bind with the two valencies. Okay, so only two valencies will be satisfied. There is still lone pair of electrons. So that lone pair of electron will take this H plus ion. Okay, which gets converted to, now here you see how do they get converted. I am telling you the whole mechanism part now. So here you have CH3. These lone pair of electron will be taken by H plus. Okay, so when H plus is taken by this oxygen, oxygen will lose their electron pair. Okay, oxygen loses their electron pair and they bind with this another hydrogen. See, already one hydrogen is there. They take another hydrogen also and oxygen gets a positive charge. Why a positive charge? Because oxygen is losing their electron pair. They are donating, no? So when they are donating to somebody, they will lose their electron pair. Okay, so that means they are becoming deficient now. And you know oxygen cannot be deficient for a long period of time. It is not a stable thing for oxygen. Oxygen is always electronegative in nature. So if they have donated, somehow they will try to take it back also. So what this oxygen does is, the bond which is there between the carbon is there, no? That they will try to take it back. Why from here they are trying to take it back? Because they will go out in the form of water immediately. So they will try to take it back from this side. Okay, so it will be pulled back. So once they pull it back, see the structures which will be formed. You will get here CH3. This CH3 will be as it is. This will go out. Okay, and this carbon will be with the positive charge. Getting carbon becomes with positive charge. And this water molecule will go out. Plus H2O will go out immediately. Okay, now see this carbon has become deficient. It's not stable, no? Carbon is deficient here. So what carbon does is, they try to become stable. But how will they become stable now? Somehow they should try to take the electrons from the neighboring one, because neighboring is having C1, 2, 3, 4. So this electron cloud which is there from the neighboring one will be shifted on this side. So they will try to take these electron pair and leave this H plus back, because that's how they will become stable. So you get CH2 double bond CH2 plus this H plus will be left out. Okay. So see that acid which came initially, same acid has gone back. So it is just a helping for removal of water. So sulfuric acid is not consumed. Now you are able to get why sulfuric acid is not consumed in the reaction. It's gone back again in the form of H2SO4. H plus has come back again. So in the simple way, instead of doing all this mechanism, what we try to do is, see here, water, OH has gone from this side and H has gone from the other side. So what we do, we write this CH3, then we write CH, and then OH. You can write OH on this side also. Okay, anywhere you can write. So what I told you is remove this OH minus and remove this H plus, shift this bond over here. Okay, this is the whole mechanism part. Okay, but in a simple way, how we are doing in this way. Okay, just now what I told you. So you shift this, then you will get CH2 double bond CH2 plus water. Understood now? Mechanism part you don't have to write. I just explained here what is happening. This is the pathway taken by the acid to remove the water from ethanol. Yes, students, is it clear? Then shall I proceed with next? I hope you have finished writing. Okay, I'll go for next one. Next reaction is from alkyl halide. Okay, next reaction is from alkyl halide. I believe you remember what is alkyl halide is. How do we generally write alkyl halide? I have introduced this to you. Yes, alkyl halide, very good, correct. Alkyl halide is Rx. Okay, so now what we are going to do is alkyl halide is made to react with Rx is the general way of writing it. Okay, alkyl halide is made to react with alcoholic potassium hydroxide. Okay, alcoholic, so I am writing ALC, alcoholic potassium hydroxide, and that give rise to alkene. Alkene will be the major compound. Okay, this is again one more important reaction. Okay, from alkyl halide. So this is how we are going to prepare now. Alkyl halide is taken, made to react with alcoholic potassium hydroxide. Now alcoholic potassium hydroxide is a stronger base. This is also a good base, no? Base is any substance which will release, now here this KOH will release OH minus ion. Okay, and base can be one more. According to Bronsted, if you remember, base is something which can take H plus ion very easily. I hope you remember Bronsted acid theory, acid base theory we had. Acid is a substance which will donate H plus ion easily, and base is a substance which will take H plus ion easily. Okay, so if they are able to take it very easily, they are very good base. So we are trying to generate a very strong base using KOH and alcohol. Okay, ethanol itself is taken. Here C2H5OH. Ethanol is taken and made to react with the KOH. Okay, so that during that process, what happens? This K is there, no? It releases OH minus and ethanol releases one H plus. They go out as water, and this K plus combines with this C2H5O minus, giving you C2H5O minus and K plus. Okay, this is a very strong base because it has OH minus ion. It will try to take one H plus ion very easily. Okay, so that is the function of these alcoholic KOH. Instead of normally taking, OH minus is also very strong, but compared to this one is very stronger because they have more tendency to take H plus ion than compared to this is smaller group, no? So heavier one will be easily able to take it. Okay, it will be like a magnet, a stronger magnet. Okay, so now I will take, now minimum again 2 carbon is required. No, if you want to prepare alkene, you can't take with 1 carbon. You don't have 1 carbon alkene. So I am taking alkyl halide with minimum 2 carbon. Okay, so 2 carbon I have taken, and then 1 halogen attached to it. I will take bromine here. Okay, I am taking bromine here, and then hydrogen attached. This side also I am taking hydrogen attached to them. Okay, so now during the reaction, when you take alcoholic potassium hydroxide, okay, this compound will come. Okay, C2H5O minus is there, no? See, that's a negative compound. So this negative compound cannot come from this side. Why? Because Br is also a negatively charged. Okay, this heavier compound which is there, this one, a bigger base which I said, that will not be able to come from this side because this Br by nature is negatively charged and this is also negative. So what it tries to do is, it will go to the next carbon. Okay, now I will tell you the name also. This first carbon where halogen is attached, no, that is called as alpha carbon. Okay, common name. These are common name. First carbon to which halogen is attached, that's called as alpha carbon. And the next carbon to which, the next carbon next to it, that is called as beta carbon. Okay, the hydrogen attached to them is called as beta hydrogen. Here this is alpha carbon, hydrogen attached to them is alpha hydrogen, and this is the halogen group. Okay, so this is how the compound is. At alpha position you are having a halogen. So what I told you just now, when you take alcoholic potassium hydroxide, this is a very strong base. Okay, this base badly wants one H plus ion to become stable. Okay, So it has that strong magnetic power which requires one H plus ion very badly to become stable. Okay, because this K plus is just held over here with the ionic bond. If they take H plus ion, they will become more stable. So this C2H5O minus cannot come towards this side because already there is one halogen. So what they try to do is they will try to take one H plus from this side. Any one hydrogen you can take. Okay. So one H plus I will take from this side. This one H plus ion they will try to take it towards themselves and take this and go out. Okay. So when they take this and go out, this carbon will get minus charge, this bond will be remaining here. Okay. Now where this bond will shift? See, now come to this carbon and halogen bond, bromine and carbon bond. Between carbon and bromine, you know, bromine is more electronegative. So what bromine will try to do, between them only there is a fight now here. It's not a same kind of atom. No, electronegativity is different. Carbon is less electronegative in nature, bromine is more electronegative in nature. So by themselves only there is a fight. Between them only there is a fight. This bromine is taking the electron towards themselves and this carbon is actually losing the electron towards the bromine. So carbon gets a partial positive charge and bromine gets a partial negative charge. Okay, between them only there is a fight. Now when this hydrogen goes out, see this electron which is there on the carbon, that will shift over here. Why? Because carbon is losing the electron towards the bromine. So when this bond shifts here, it is nice now. Already the bromine was trying to pull the electron. So what the bromine will do? Bromine will take this electron. Okay, that's bond. The whole bond will be taken and then gone out. Okay. So this is what happens when the KOH, alcoholic KOH, is treated with the alkyl halide. So see the compound which will be formed. The compound which is formed will be CH2 double bond, because I am removing this Br minus and H plus goes out. So you get CH2 double bond CH2. Okay. This Br minus will go out in the form of this Br will go out in the form of Br minus, will react with K plus, okay, giving you KBr. And other compounds are also formed. But for you important is this. If you write this much would be enough, okay. Now this reaction is also called as dehydrohalogenation. Why? Because during the process you can see there is elimination of one hydrogen atom and then there is elimination of one bromine atom. Halogen, that's a halogen. If you have any other halogen, that also will go out. Okay, so there is elimination of hydrogen as well as halogen. So it's also called as dehydrohalogenation reaction. Okay, this is one more name. And there is another name. This reaction is also called as beta elimination. Okay, beta elimination reaction. Why beta elimination? Because of the presence of these heavier base, there was elimination of these H plus ion. That base did not come towards the alpha. No, it came towards the beta because of the repulsion here. Okay, and already carbon was losing the electron. So it didn't come towards this side. It came towards the one who are free. Okay, so this was taken and gone out. So from the beta position, hydrogen got eliminated. So it is also called as beta elimination. Okay, this is on the whole what is happening for preparation of alkene. Yes, students, now you write down alkyl halide on heating with alcoholic potassium. Alcoholic, it should be alcoholic potassium hydroxide. Okay. You write here alcoholic potassium hydroxide. Alcoholic potassium hydroxide eliminates one molecule of halogen acid, that is one H and then one X went out to form alkene. And it's also called as beta elimination. One more name I told you, it is also called as dehydrohalogenation. It's also called as dehydrohalogenation reaction. An important reaction from your exam point of view. Not only for this year, even second year you will come across this reaction once again. See, again, I'll explain. This side, I'm explaining once again. You listen properly. So here what we are doing is we are taking alkyl halide, making it to react with potassium hydroxide, alcoholic potassium hydroxide. And I told you what happens when alcoholic potassium hydroxide reacts. I will write it here. Okay. See, KOH when made to react with the ethanol, C2H5OH. Okay. Now this KOH will release OH minus ion. You know that. I'll use a different color. See, it releases OH minus and then here K plus. This ionic bond can be broken down easily. And here you have C2H5O minus and then this H plus. So this H plus and OH minus ion goes out in the form of water. So minus water goes out, okay, during the reaction. What is left out is C2H5O minus. And then you are having this K plus. In the solution, you are having this. So I told you this is a very strong base. Okay, this is a very strong base. Now, base is a substance. According to Bronsted, we are explaining now here. So, base is a substance which requires one H plus ion. Okay, they can take one H plus ion very easily. Okay, strong base means which will take very readily. If they are able to take H plus ion very easily, then we call them as very strong base. Okay, so this is found to be a very strong base. C2H5O minus. Okay, so now I am making it to react with alkyl halide. So our alkyl halide, I am taking this 2 carbon alkyl halide, CH3, then CH, H and then 1 Br I am taking on this side. Okay. This is made to react with KOH. That's alcoholic. You can write ALC. It's understood it is alcoholic. Okay. And this is heated also little bit. When you heat them, no, you can see this water elimination, all that takes place. Okay. When you heat them, bond breaking becomes easier. So little bit of heating is also done. Okay, now this strong base which is there, C2H5O minus, cannot come from this side. See where Br is located, that side it will not come because repulsion will be there, no? This Br by nature is negatively charged and this is base which is there, that's also negatively charged. Okay, so it doesn't come from this side, it comes from the other side. Okay, and takes one H plus ion and goes out because their property only is that a strong base is the one which can take plus one H plus ion very easily to become stable. So it takes one H plus ion. It will come here. See, C2H5O minus takes one H plus. It can take from any side. Okay, any hydrogen you can take. I have utilized this one now. Okay, it will take this hydrogen. Remaining is what? This bond is remaining. Okay. Now the carbon over here will become minus charge because this bond will be still there. No, the electron will be still there. So that is nothing but electron itself. The bond is nothing but electron itself. So H plus has gone out. Okay, that H plus will combine here to give you C2H5OH. That will be formed here. Okay, this is gone out. Now, come to this carbon and this bromine. So I told you this carbon is called as alpha carbon where halogen is attached. That's called as alpha. Wherever functional group is attached, okay, a reactive one, we call them as alpha. The next one is called as beta. Okay, the immediate next one is called as beta. So when this H plus goes out, these electrons which are there, they have to somehow become stable. No, they should be shifted to one of the places. So what here happens is between the carbon and bromine, bromine is more electronegative. So they carry negative charge and carbon is losing the electron towards the bromine. So already a positive charge is getting developed here. Inside the molecule only there is this charge separation. So this bond which is left out comes over here to satisfy the carbon. So in turn, when the carbon becomes stable here with 4 bond, it will leave this bromine and go. It will allow that bromine to go out very easily. Already they were trying to pull the electrons. Okay, so when they have this electron, they take that electron easily and leave the bromine. Okay, so then you get this compound. You get CH2 double bond CH2. Okay, so here this alkyl halide give rise to ethene. You write main compound, that's enough. Okay, other side compound, I'm not expecting you all to write. This much you write in the equation. I hope now it's, at least for everyone it will be clear. I know organic, you have too many things, but then that's how the mechanism proceeds. But once you understand the logic, then it's easy. Okay. So here there is elimination of hydrogen plus there is elimination of bromine. So this reaction is also called as dehydrohalogenation reaction. It's also called as dehydrohalogenation reaction. Okay, because of removal of hydrogen and bromine. You can name this compound. Can you tell me what is the name? This compound name? I'll erase this, okay, to write the name of this compound. See, here bromine is attached, no? So I'll number this as 1. This you take as 2. First position you are having bromine. Bromine is more reactive, okay? So number them first. 1 bromo. 1 bromo. Then you are having 2 carbon. Single bond it is. So 1 bromo ethane. Giving you ethene. Yeah, bromo ethane. Correct. Very good. Okay, now I'll give you one more compound. You tell me what will be the product formed. See, if like this they give you CH3, CH2, CH2Cl in the presence of alcoholic potassium hydroxide. Can you tell me what will be the product now? On heating, tell me what will be the product which will be formed. Do by yourself and tell me what is the product. I'm just giving you practice of this. Yes, good. So you understood now how to do? Yeah. Propene is the answer, correct. And now see how is the elimination. I will just write the open structure just for you all to understand. CH3 we have, okay, but they will give you like this, okay. Condensed structure will be given to you. You can write the open structure and do the elimination, okay. So CH3, then I have here CH2, then again there is CH2 and then one side you are having chlorine. So when you make it to react with alcoholic potassium hydroxide, you should always remember this is the alpha position, okay. The next position, this is alpha position, okay. First position, this carbon, alpha. This is beta, okay. And the next one here, again 3 are there, no? So this is gamma. So now they will go for these beta position, okay. So from between this carbon and chlorine, there is again charge separation. This is negative and this is positive. This alcoholic potassium hydroxide will abstract this hydrogen, okay. They will go to this hydrogen, this bond will shift here. Because here this carbon is becoming deficient, no? So shifting over here it will happen. Don't go for any other carbon. This side it will be. So this will shift here. So one hydrogen goes out and this halogen will go out with the bond. Okay. This goes out with the bond here. This whole thing. And this bond I am shifting here. This place I am shifting here. This bond. So you get CH3. This 3 hydrogen as it is intact you keep. And then 1 hydrogen will remain. Okay. Because 1 hydrogen you are removing. This you are removing. This will remain. So CH. Then one bond was already there. Again another bond is coming. One bond was already there. Another bond. So CH2. CH and here the other side you have CH2 remaining. Okay. Plus that KCl, everything will go out. But need not write the other compound. At least you write this. Okay. And this compound name is propene. Okay. Now name this one. What is the name of this compound? 1 carbon, 2 and then 3. Correct, no? So chloro, 1 chloro it is. 1 chloro, 1 chloropropane. 1 chloropropane gives you propene. Yeah, now you can write this down.